Hi, I'm Karen Barnes and I'm here to talk about Spring Trends 2024. So in front of me I've got a planted design which I've made pre the filming. I've got a selection of plants and this is what we're going to call a poté fleur. So a poté fleur is a very traditional, I'm going to say old vintage type way of selling a mixture of plants arranged together and then adding cut stems to give scent and also a little bit of colour. So I've specifically chosen these plants because they all have interesting forms and textures. So I'm going to spin this bowl round so that you can see. I have a little bit of colour with the primulas, the polyanthus, some lovely narcissi spring bulbs, and then we've got the textures of dracaenas, some succulents, and a selection of 2 ferns. So they all give a little bit of interest. In the centre of this, or just off centre, I've got just a very tall but plain glass. It's a drinking glass. So if I pull it out now, you'll be able to see that's the type of container I have. And this has got the bulbs and the plants potted around it. And so this enables whoever's going to receive this to actually keep this well planted and well watered, but also ring the changes if they would like to with cut stems and different colours. Equally, if they don't have any cut flowers added to them, then it's a lovely planted arrangement for the springtime. And I would say that this comes under the dynamic nature theme of the Spring Trends 2024. It's got a lovely sort of organic feel to it. I've just used a little bit of compost here, a little bit of water, just hydrate the plants so that they're settled and they're growing well. And then I also we all have these in our businesses, these files that orchids come in, anthuriums, etc. And I never throw these away because I can always find a use for them. So I'm going to take the rubber bung off this, and then I'm just at the point where I just feel that something could be added in terms of more colour. So it's been filled with water and it's disguised with the foliages of the plants around. Keep that for something else. You can see on the bench here I've got a selection of spring flowers. I've got the lovely, beautiful, it's almost like a lemon golden yellow freesia. It's a single variety. I've got the anemones in this gorgeous rich blue, beautiful clematis, which I'm in love with at the moment, some pussy willow, gorgeous muscari, and then I've got a few open daffodils. I just thought we might just put a few of those in just to bring the weight and the clarity of the flowers just down into the arrangement of the plants. So I've got a very sharp knife here. So those of you that are used to using knives, you'll know the technique, but just be careful for those that are just wanting to start out using a knife. I've also got a very sharp pair of snippers, not so much secateurs, but these are very good quality. I think it's always well worth investing in good tools in that way that you get the best from them. They last, throughout all your working week, your working year, but they're also valuable to get the best movement across the stems of your flowers as well. I think it's always worth investing. A little bit about like a hairdresser investing in their scissors. So I've got a group of pussy willow. When I say group, it's almost like a bunch. So this is going to go straight into the vase, the glass container, the glass drinking glass. And I want it to look as though it's just literally coming from the centre of the planted arrangement. So that gives me almost a framework to just insert other flowers. I'm going to use the eucalyptus, clematis, just to add that different form and that natural movement amongst the plants and the little bulbs there. 3 stems, I think that may be sufficient. Notice that I've removed any foliage from the lower stems so that, as we all know, we don't want dirty water encouraging bacteria amongst the stems. So I'm just going to swing this round actually it might need the 4th stem. You can put whatever, obviously, flower stems you want into this poté fleur. It could be just 3 roses, it could be a stem of orchids, but it's there so that it just gives the option for the recipient to actually take that out, and the planted arrangement, as I mentioned earlier, will be still as beautiful. This is a great idea for, in my opinion, it's a great idea for gifts. And it can be on a smaller scale, it could be on a much larger scale if you wish. And also great for corporate work. So corporate work, if you have some gorgeous foliage plants on a much bigger scale, or even a smaller scale, but multiple times, then you can easily add fresh cut flowers. So for example, if you added a stem of Cymbidium orchids or a lovely array of anthuriums, then they are going to have longevity as well. So from one week to the next, you just change the cut flowers, but you've still got these beautiful plants behind. Can you see that I'm going to spin this round? Just add some anemones. Now the pussy willow is really doing its job. So it's almost like a framework within the vase, or the drinking glass. And then I'm just going to bring this rich blue through the other side with just another couple of stems of anemone. And I'm careful, or trying to be careful, that when the narcissi bulbs actually start blossoming and growing, that actually they can still have the height of the arrangement. And if this was to be taken out once these cut flowers have had their lifespan, then you've still got colour within the arrangement. I'm just going to pop a few of the daffodils, this gorgeous variety. I'm not sure of the variety at all, I'm afraid, but it's just a beautiful soft colour. Very nice. Just put a few of those in at the base. And then with the file that I added, I don't know if you can see it from the camera angle, it's just in there. I'm just going to add a few muscari. And I love using muscari with its natural foliage. So I generally arrange them across the palm of my hand so that I've got a lovely bunch with this gorgeous foliage that often is thrown away. And when you think about it, you know, it's just a natural part of the muscari, and you will have purchased the foliage as well. So it's lovely to make the most of it. A little bit about like when we buy irises. So many of us strip the irises of the foliages and then it just goes into the waste, which is such a shame when it's just a gorgeous foliage. So I've got the muscari in my hand, and with my sharp snippers, oh, can you hear that sound? That means that they're very sharp. I'm going to put the whole bunch, just like that, into the file, gently put them down, and then open it out a little so it just looks as though they're on the bulb. So there you have it. You have a poté fleur, and I think it goes well with any home. It could go for a birthday, an anniversary, or just a lovely gift. And when the cut flowers have had their longevity, their life, it can just be taken out and you still have a beautiful arrangement. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and go and make a poté fleur.